Good day, please introduce yourself.
Good morning, ma'am. I am Bantayanon, 40 years old. I am single mother with one daughter and she is 10 years old now, living at Barangay Tambalisa, Concepcion, Iloilo. I have 8 brothers and 1 sister, and I am the third child of the family, and I am Bachelor of Secondary Education.
Okay, so are you the one taking care of your child since her birth?
Yes, ma'am. Until 8 months only. After that, I go abroad again.
Okay, so please tell me about your work experience as domestic helper abroad.
My first employer was in Singapore for 3 years with couple and 3 children, ages 3, 8, and 12 years old, and I do all the household chores and taking care of the children. My second employer was in Hong Kong for 4 years and 3 months with couples and 2 children, ages 18 and 25 years old, and I do all the household chores. And my third employer was in Singapore for 5 years with 2 elders, ages 67 and 68 years old, and I do all the household chores, ma'am.
Okay, so in all your employer, is it in one employer only?
Yes, ma'am.
In Singapore for 3 years, is it in one employer only?
Yes, ma'am.
How about in Hong Kong for 4 years and 3 months, is it in one employer only?
Yes, ma'am.
And how about in Singapore for 5 years?
One employer also, ma'am.
Okay, so is there another helper in your employer household?
No, ma'am.
So it means you are the only one taking care of the kids of your employer and doing all the household chores.
Yes, ma'am.
And in Hong Kong, is it a finished contract?
4 years finished contract, ma'am, and then I just finished my 4 years contract and renew for another contract, and then after that release, my employer was released me
Okay, for what reason?
for unsatisfactory work, ma'am.
Okay, so how would you describe your employers? Are they good to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so and how would you describe yourself as a worker?
I am an honest person, trustworthy person, and responsible person, ma'am.
Do you have any tattoo?
No, ma'am.
Do you have a surgical operation or serious sickness before?
Yes, ma'am. CS, and that was 10 years ago.
Why do you want to work abroad?
I want to work abroad again for my daughter's future and for the easy life of my family, ma'am.
Okay, so if you get hurt, who will take care of your child?
My parents, ma'am.
What time do you usually sleep and wake up when you're working?
I usually sleep at 10 p.m. after my work was done and wake up for 5 a.m.
In Hong Kong, kids are super active and sometimes they tend to be out of control. How will you control your temper?
I will be more patient, ma'am, and understanding to them, ma'am.
If you are homesick, what would you do?
I will keep myself busy, ma'am, and I always remind myself that I need this job for my family, ma'am.
Do you have an allergy to a certain food?
No, ma'am.
Do you accept a day off but to be paid instead by your employer?
Yes, ma'am.
When you visited the parents, relatives, and friends of your employer, will you help undo the housework there?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you promise not to lend money in Hong Kong?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you scared of dogs and cats?
No, ma'am.
And are you willing to share room with the kids and elder?
Yes, ma'am.
And what will you do if the baby is sick?
I will check the temperature if the baby is sick, ma'am, and I will call the employer.
Do you smoke and drink alcohol?
No, ma'am.
Do you promise not to use your cell phone during working hours?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you promise to finish your contract?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you sing a nursery song for kids?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please give me example.
The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round all through the town.
Okay, thank you. Can you please say a short message to your future employer?
Good day, ma'am and sir. Hope you will select me as your helper because I am a hardworking, honest, and trustworthy person, ma'am. And
Okay, so are you willing to extend your contract if your employer requested to?
yes, ma'am. I'm willing to extend my contract and
Okay, so as long your employer
as long as my employer
needs
needs me, ma'am.
Okay, so can you promise to serve your family of your employer with all your best and with all your heart?
Yes, ma'am.
Like your own family?
Yes, ma'am. I will.
Okay, that's all for today and thank you for coming.